My name's James, and this is my testimony. I was born into a non-Christian home where God was explained to me as being real, but not really ever explained further than that. I grew up sometimes going to church on holidays and never really had a concept of God. I was part of a family who both of my parents were heavy drinkers, which was really hard for me when I was younger. Having a dad who was always working and a mom who wasn't, and who was there but not really there, was always really rough for me. My parents split up when I was in 6th grade, and so it was just me and my dad, basically against the world. I started hanging out with a bunch of guys who skateboarded, and skating became my life. I met a guy named Chris who used to be a gang member, and he was like a drug dealer and stuff, and he was really cool, but he had gotten saved, whatever that meant, and he was the first person who really ever told me anything about God and Jesus and God's love or anything like that. And that friendship carried on to high school. When I was a sophomore in high school, my friend Chris actually died from a skating accident, and I knew that he was a Christian, and I knew that he had told me about God and how God loves him and all this stuff, and so I blamed God for him dying, and I said, if God is real, why did he let him die? And so I kind of just really didn't want much to do with God until my friend brought me to a youth group in Castro Valley, where they had a skate park, so of course I was there. But little by little, I actually started to listen to what they had to say, and I stopped going there for the skate park aspect. I got pretty close with the pastor there, and later that year he actually left to do something else. And when he left, I left. But I basically cut ties with church, and I didn't really want much to do with God at all. I started hanging out with a group of friends who really didn't care about God or church or anything like that, and I started smoking weed, and I started drinking, and I started partying and all that, and that was just basically my life for 2.5 years. And when I had basically gotten my fill of that and done way too much of it, an old friend from the high school group actually invited me back to church, and knowing who I was and what I had done, she still asked me if I wanted to come, and so I begrudgingly said, sure, I'll go. And so I showed up, and the first thing that the pastor did was open the Bible to the last thing that I ever really remembered hearing at church. And so I ended up going to a camp, and I got saved there. And from that camp on, God really just changed everything. He changed my priorities. He changed what I wanted to do with my life. I didn't want to just hang out and skate and all that stuff anymore. I wanted the things of God. And fast forwarding to today, I can't get enough of him. I want to pursue God with everything that I have, and especially leading up into my marriage. I want to lead my wife the way that Jesus would have me lead her, and I would never ever look back. I can't even believe who I used to be, and I would never trade this for the world. As easy and sometimes not easy as it is anyways.